Support for Music Money University and the following message are brought to you by TuneCore. Do you want to take your career to the next level and start making money from your music? The good news is all you need is a digital distributor. TuneCore is dedicated to helping independent artists get their music in over 150 digital stores and streaming services in over 100 countries worldwide. And the best part is, they never take a cut of the money they collect for you. No label, no catch, no barriers to selling your music worldwide. Take control of your career and get 20% off your first upload on TuneCore by clicking the link in our show notes. Welcome to Music Money University, where you learn in-depth strategies on how real artists, musicians, and entrepreneurs earn a full-time income in the music business. I am your host, Omari, and today on our show we have David Blair, a semi-finalist in The Voice of Germany 2017. David is a Canadian singer-songwriter hailing from Vancouver and best known for his relentless smile, heartwarming stories, and sympathetic charisma on stage. His new album, As You Let Go, Songwriting Sundays, officially released worldwide in February of this year, is his fifth full album release to accompany a 2012 EP and 2014 Best Of collection. Although he's been in the industry for over 20 years, he only started becoming profitable as an original artist in 2016 after moving to Germany at the end of 2013. Since the move, he's performed over 600 shows in over 20 countries worldwide and continues to explore exposure and value building opportunities with labels and label services worldwide. David, welcome to Music Money University.
Thank you for having me, Omari. This is exciting. I love it.
Yeah, awesome to have you here. David, the way we like to kick things off on our show is dive right into the numbers for a couple reasons. Without numbers, you and I are just talking opinions. We're just giving theories, and we want to give people listening, artists on the come up, artists on the rise, our report on our results, not just our opinions. So tell us how much you make each year in your music career, in your music business, the breakdown of where the revenue is coming from, and which marketing methods have worked best for you to achieve this income.
Last year, 2018, I filed taxes, and my gross income was 47,000 euros, which is 52,000 US. And yeah, it's not like I'm not loaded, but it's a job, right? It's a full-time job. So, and it's what I love to do. So I'm excited about it. So of that, I'm going to go in US dollars. I kind of translated everything because I live in Europe, but, basically from live show income, I made 37,500 US. And then merchandise, I made 9,100, and publishing 4,500, licensing 607. That's all US dollars. So total is 52,000 US. Yeah, so that's the major breakdown. There's little bits here and there as well, where made a little extra bit of income here and there, but there's all kind of just small numbers right now. Just like, but that licensing includes kind of streaming and stuff like that.
Okay, so you just grouped all the streaming revenue you have into the licensing.
Yeah, I take that as kind of like licensing. Yeah, so I had a bit of, so I had some money from streaming, and as well, there's a company out of LA where they're kind of, I guess, almost like publishing services, but I count them more as licensing because they just do immediate licenses. So for film videographers or influencers or whatever that just want to use cleared tracks, they can use my tracks and they just pay like $20 or $50 or whatever one-time fee. So it's it's basically a licensing company that they do that. And I make some money from that one and a couple other ones like that, where it's an open deal. I'm not like tied to one licensing or publishing company.
Exclusive.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So for that publishing, is that made up of TV placements, film placements?
When you play live shows, of course, you do get, you get royalties from your live shows. So a lot of that is from touring as well. So if you register all your songs with, for me, it's SOCAN, but if you're in the States, then you're going to register them with ASCAP or BMI, which I'm registered with BMI in the States. So, and then the rest of the world, every country has their own PRO. But yeah, when you tour and you play your shows and people pay to come out to it, then you have to do the work. The publishing is kind of in the pennies. So it's not tons per show, but as you know, it adds up. Then it was a little bit of radio play as well too. And So I had a radio promoter helping me in 2018. So that changes from time to time because I do not have them anymore, but I still get radio play here and there from just sources all around, like indie radio stations and whatnot, who pay their licensing fees. And what else? So publishing is kind of all over. It's up and down. That's kind of, I don't always, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more. It can be up to like sometimes 9 and 10,000 US for publishing, again, depending on if I've had a new release and then the album's getting some radio play or I'm getting some traction here and there in different places like that. So basically radio and touring is what the publishing kind of came from.
Okay. So the bulk of this, what's that, about 75% of that is from the live show income. So
yes.
How are you going about booking your live shows?
Yeah. Well, it's grown. I still do most of my booking myself. I do have so my team is me and my wife. We just actually, as I kind of talked to you a little earlier off air, we just got married on the 28th. So, but we've been kind of lawfully married for about a year now, and she's been working with me for about a year. But before her, I slowly built up my kind of tour path in Germany over the last like 4 or 5 years since I got to Germany, and I have someone kind of helping me booking shows, but I do most of it myself still. So I'll plan kind of a tour. Once, like I'll plan like say 10 dates or something like this. And then, I'll just try and contact the venues that I've kind of played at before. If I haven't played it before, then I look for artists who are similar to me, who I know that I could play similar to them. Like maybe I don't have a fan base or whatnot. And they're similar to me. So I'll just kind of look at their tour dates and go, okay, I'll contact those venues and say, hey, I'd like to come into your town, and I've got this going on and would love to, play your venue. So I kind of find venues from other artists and, just book my dates consistently. Basically, as you know, I play basically about 100 shows a year. So if you get 10 shows in a month or 8 shows, you might get a whole bunch in one month and then a few less in some other month. But if you average about 100 shows a year and you make about 400 euros a show, there's your 40 grand right there.
Okay. And then out of that, so let me see, go back to the numbers. Total was about 52,000 US, and then you said about 9,000 for the merchandise. Is most of that coming as you're selling after the shows, or is any of that online?
Most of that's at the shows, but definitely some stuff online. We made some packages online last year at Christmas time that did really well, and we did some other promotions. I do have an email list that I constantly build when I'm on tour as well, and with the email list we're able to kind of continue on with it as we release videos. And as I used your service as well already to promote one of my videos on YouTube, which is nice. I kind of added a little bit of, just got some extra exposure out of it and kind of got things pumped up with the fans that already have going with it. So that was kind of nice. And so I made a couple sales from the new album coming out with that way. But right now we're looking to actually go more online with merch. So 90% of that is definitely at the shows right now. But we are looking to go more online right now, especially with merch on demand. And that's kind of the direction we are really focused on for the rest of this year and going on into 2020. Since you don't have to actually shell out any of your money up front, you can just come up with cool ideas. And then when I'm on tour, tell people about the merch, and when I'm on and show them the merch there. And then when I'm not on tour, still be, taking pictures and using social media to promote the fun ideas that I've kind of got going on.
Yeah, and as you're at those live shows, what do you specifically do to sell the merch? Like, do you have a strategy or like a layout that you follow every time you're about to sell merch, or is it kind of you feel it out per show?
No, it's definitely not a feel out process for sure. I mean, I have felt out kind of a little what's going well with things. I think the number one sales is your show. The number one selling product is the actual show, the actual song itself. I don't think you can get anything more pure than that. I think I look at advertising as additional to or to help people, find you, but the song and the show itself is like 90% of everything. That being said, I find that the best way to sell your merchandise is to kind of basically be the merchandise, be open and vulnerable, and have a show it's totally engaging and really gets your fans to be part of the show. It takes a while to develop your courage and to connect with your audience, really give of yourself. But if you almost don't even think about your CDs and just think about what's on the CDs and all the effort and time and love you put into that album, then that will come through when you're performing on stage. And I think for me, one of my favorite tricks is to invite a fan on stage and to give them a CD or give them a t-shirt or give them something that I am promoting as a gift for their courage to come on stage and do shaker or, do something simple, but yet it was scary for them to come on stage, and the audience knows that. And you just create something really special, create a bond with your fans, and you give them a t-shirt, give them anything for free. If someone has a birthday, sing them a happy birthday song. Always ask if there's any special occasion. Someone's getting married, someone's engaged, someone had a birthday, all those things. I always acknowledge those things and I give them a gift. Be generous. If you can give gifts away and find excuses to do it, that add value to the evening, that really is probably the most amazing advertisement, because it shows who you are as a person, a generous person. And so that's huge. And that brings attention to your merchandise without you having to say it. You're just gifting it away, but that brings like the best attention you could possibly get to your merch booth. And yeah, so that's the number one thing that I have. Number two thing is have your merchandise, like well lit up, and have a nice table that's really clean and organized in a good situation, and make it easy for people to buy it. And then also have something for free that you give away on your table, so that people don't feel stupid or silly when they come up and they don't have enough money to buy your CD, or had second thoughts about it. You can talk to them and it gives them an excuse to come to the table without feeling cheap. Oh yeah, can I get a poster for an autograph? If you get people at your merch booth and you're signing autographs on free posters that cost you basically nothing to make, or very, very little, that's a huge bonus. That helps with merch sales, and that can totally, on a night where you make say $200 or $300 just for ticket sales, you can add another $100, $200, or make more just from the merchandise that evening.
So, doing those live shows, was that how you primarily came into doing music full time? Because you said in your bio, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was around 2013 to 2016 was that transitional period?
It was. So what I was doing before that, I've been in the industry, like I said, for a long time, about 20 years or so. And I never had the confidence in myself really for some reason, when I was in Vancouver, I play shows, but I don't know, I didn't somehow realize that touring you can make money from touring. That touring is actually a great way to make money. I was actually grew up in the late 90s when most people said you lose money on tour and you make money through merchandise sales. But the whole industry's changed, and live music is totally where it's at. And if you play enough shows and you play great shows, you can make great money, or at least, you can make great money. And now you can augment it with, your online presence and whatnot, and it really feeds your social media, and social media feeds your live show. So it goes back and forth. So I didn't really realize that live touring can be a great source of income and your livelihood. So I was always staying in Vancouver. I never really toured that much, and I played cover songs. That was how I kind of got over my stage fright. And there's good money in cover songs, but it is limited, as you know, and you can't grow it forever. And it's a bit of a soul killer, soul crusher after a while if you are a songwriter like myself, who I just need to share my own original music. That's just kind of the path that I really wanted to go. So for the songwriters out there who want to play their own original songs, like definitely live shows, all roads really lead to the live show eventually anyway, even if you have tremendous success online. Like Billie Eilish or any of these people who had tremendous success online first, they eventually are going to come to the live stage. So it's good to might as well just jump out there and start performing, and you might as well make money at it at the same time. So in 2013, I sold my house in Canada and sold everything that I owned pretty much for the most part, and moved to Germany. And it took me about 2 years. I had a little bit of savings left up from the house, and I ran out at the end of 2015. And that's when I kind of when your back's at the wall, that's when you start to figure things out. I wasn't coming home. It was like a one-way street. I was not moving back to Canada without doing music. So I kind of figured it out. I'm like, hey, let's just book some more shows. Let's make this happen. And, was able to save up 5,000 euros in about 3 months. by the beginning of 2016. So I was really started to pick up, okay, wow, all right, I know how to do this. And so I've been kind of